I need to tell you about a huge disaster that I caused. But first, let me clean my kitchen with you.
Okay, my dear, today I am going to have a bit of a lazier day because this channel is about slower living, minimalism, and all of the things. However, I still am not going to leave my kitchen super messy because it stresses me out when it's messy and then I can't relax the way God intended for me to relax. So I'm gonna get started and then I'm gonna tell you a very funny story about the dishwasher. So let's go. Okay, so let me quickly tell you the story about the dishwasher. Now, when I was like 8 and 7, like just a young kid, I loved cooking. And that's why you will see a little bit of that on this channel because it's just such a big part of my simple living sort of like, I don't want to say strategy, just the way I live. But anyway, so when I was young, like I learned to make pancakes when I was really young. And I remember one morning, I think I made pancakes and then I was like, I'm going to do the dishes. And of course, like watching TV commercials, they would have somebody like pouring like the liquid dish soap into the dispenser and that was it. And I remember thinking like, that's what I'm gonna do. So I took the liquid hand washing dish soap and I put it into the dispenser, turned it on, and it foamed crazy. It came out of the dishwasher. It got all over the floor. We had a carpeted kitchen because this was the 1980s and it was like a very low pile carpet kitchen, but it was a carpeted kitchen nonetheless. And it just got everywhere. My parents, to their credit, were so great with me about it. They were nice. I think they just appreciated that I was just trying to be helpful, but they were like, that's not the soap. There's a different kind of soap. So that is my dishwasher story. But now I'm going to get back to loading my dishwasher. One thing for me is I do not like I am a minimalist, right? And I have a business. And one of the things, with a business is you need like bank accounts and credit cards and stuff. And I literally just canceled a bank account and a credit card yesterday because I was like, I do not want too many. I've learned after watching several family members when I was a kid that you don't want too many credit cards or anything. And I'm going to tell you, it just feels so good. So yeah, I had a cut up card and I'm just plopping it in here, putting a new bag on. I cannot do it from this angle.
So one of the reasons why I have started this new channel is to show a much more realistic version of what a quote minimalist home looks like. A lot of you probably know I see myself much more as minimalist light because as you will see in future videos or perhaps past videos, like I still have stuff, I have hobbies, blah, blah, blah. Anyway, my thing I want to show today is that I'm actually really tired. And if this was not like super duper sped up, you would see just how slow I am actually working. And I just want to point out, I love that little scrub brush I'm using. It is by the Nellie's brand. This is not sponsored, but I love it. It's got like this little stick of soap that goes inside of it, but it's run out and I did not feel like filling it up. So anyway, I just was using the Dawn Power Wash, which is awesome stuff, by the way. So anyway, I'm like cleaning up the sink because these bottles you will hear me complain about in a second need to be washed. So one of the things that I wanted to share, as I just mentioned, I'm feeling super tired today. And for me, I am turning 45 this year, which I know is not super old, but what that means is that I have been hit by perimenopause, and that makes me tired some days, which is okay. But at the same time, if I sit around all day, and I'm happy every now and then to just sit around, but some days, especially if it's cloudy out, like today, it's like intermittently cloudy. But if I am just sitting around, it makes me feel bad about myself. So what can I do to get up and do something? Clean the kitchen feels good.
Why is it that I can't find all the lids for these bottles?
I'm just going to pause myself right there and apologize for the weird bottle sounds you're about to hear.
I don't know. Sometimes I feel like they just got their little feet walking away. I have my own bottle because this has a bit of a blue tint, and I love SodaStream. I love the fizz. It's just every time I drink it, woo, I feel like I'm like a kid drinking pop, but it's healthy for me. So anyway, I use one bottle, and then we got 6 bottles here. This is all of the other bottles. This one's broken, which is whatever, but I'm just saying, maybe I have suggested that others clean them, but they, as you could see, just will sit here forever. So it's fine.
One of the things I have learned in almost 20 years of marriage is that there are times where I will dig my heels in and say, dang it, no, my husband or my kid or whoever, they can deal with this. This is their mess. However, sometimes it's just easier for me to deal with it myself instead of like leaving it for them. Otherwise, it just grates me. It grates me.
I'm laughing at the podcast I'm listening to. This is why I listen to podcasts when I clean or declutter or whatever. It just makes it so much more enjoyable. It just makes it so that I don't dread doing these things, and then I can work to getting my home back to where I want it to be.
Do you see how messy my garden is? First, we're going to do an intermission. Just really quickly, but look, there are big things coming in this garden, but I'm going to be honest, they never look good in winter. Anyway, let's go to the greenhouse. This is okay, so I have this heater, which is great. And let me show you around. In fact, I need to water again, which is great. Basil, I just planted these out. I had them in my grow room. Lettuce, I actually need to thin these because there really should only be one plant, but I just wanted to leave them. Cilantro, there's some spinach, more basil, more lettuce. Dill is one of my very favorite herbs. And then up here, a little messy, but here's some cabbage. And these are my peppers. And I'm very happy that it is 19 degrees Celsius in here because my peppers will be happy. They're also happy because the sun, even though it's a bit cloudy, actually the weather's weird today. But anyway, lots of peppers. And I'm doing this, although what's funny is they're going to be just living in the greenhouse for their entire lives. But it's always good to do this. And then over here are onions. Now these I am obsessed with. I started them just after Valentine's Day, and I'm filming this right at the end of March. Don't you love it? Don't you just love it? Let's have a quick little intermission as Crumpet cleans his little feet. Now, some of you may not know Crumpet has a brain injury. He's very comfortable. It just really affects his balance and his coordination. So pretty much everything he does we think is adorable. Okay, back to work. Now, I just want to show you quickly. So I've done my laundry in my bed, and I'm going to make my bed in a second. But I use a silk pillowcase, and I hand wash it. And I, of course, clean my sink first because this is where we like spit after we brush our teeth and stuff. So I don't want to be washing my pillowcase in there. So I always give it a good clean. And then I use some of the True Earth laundry strips to just hand wash it because they're super gentle, and then I hang it up and I just love it.
Hi, Blanky. Hello, Blanky.
So our room is a little messy, and that's okay because that is 100% real life. And I'm going to tell you something. This house needs another big declutter, which is coming. And you may have already seen some videos on this, because what I realize is, like, when it is hard to keep the house clean, or not hard, but harder, then that really indicates to me that we need to let a lot go. And I've really noticed with the teens that some of their stuff needs to go. So, yeah, I just wanted to point out it is much harder to make the bed by yourself because quite often I get my husband to help me. But today I just want to get her done.
Yikes, I definitely will be doing a big clothing declutter soon because, yeah, I have bought a few new clothes and I have not gotten rid of some old ones.
I wanted to point out that last year I accidentally washed my husband's keys, and he was annoyed, which was fine. But I said, well, you know, I am doing you a favor. Maybe you should do your own laundry. And he was like, yeah, maybe I will. And he has, and it's been great. So now I just do my own. But look at all these clothes. This is ridiculous. So I am very excited to be doing a wardrobe declutter and to show you later.
So after all of that, I'm tired after all of that. I've got my tea steeping. I'm gonna sit here and watch some YouTube. I'm gonna like scroll social media. So I hope something great happens for you today. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye. I'm watching this lady who I really like on YouTube, and she had a baby and all of his clothes are hung up, and I think it's adorable because just before I had my first son, I hung up a bunch of their clothes, his clothes, and when they're tiny like that, I was like, never mind, I'm just gonna use a dresser. You let me know what you did if you had kids.